Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. I will be your host, Thrones, bringing you another quote-unquote role-playing build known as the Tonal Engine Guardian. I'm probably gonna call it Engine Guardian, just cause. Anyways, my builds in a nutshell are roleplay intended specifically builds. They're not meant for endgame, they're not made for meta setups, they're not meant for veteran trials, veteran DLC dungeons, whatever. They're mostly just for casual playing around, theming around, and just for having fun, all in all. Today I decided to spice it up a little bit. I usually just make, quote-unquote DPS builds, or basically builds that you use for questing around. However, this time I tried to add the aspect of a tank, specifically on this build, and probably the next two as well. And yeah, let's get to the build. So we have a Dark Elf Dragonknight, so the theme around here would be the Dwemer. And I didn't just want to go with the Dwemers, but specifically the Engine Guardian from the Darkshade Caverns 2, I believe was, the main boss. So I took inspiration from that boss itself and tried to make a build around it, and I quote-unquote made a viable quote-unquote build. It's just pure quotes. It's just the inspiration for theming up. You can always go end game, with certain setups. However, in my case, that's not the case. So went with the Dark Elf, considering the Dark Elves have a lot of Dwemer ruins and a lot of history with the Dwemer. I mean, Nords did as well, and Snow Elves, and even Red Guards at some point. But I want to go with the Dark Elf because, Cavern and everything. And Nerevar and everything. Anyways, Dark Elf. Yeah. Also, the main reason why I did go with the Dark Elf was because Darkshade Caverns is in Deshaan, very close to Mournhold, and yeah. Dragonknight. The reason because we're going with the Dragonknight because the Engine Guardian is a guardian of a engine, and engine usually goes with heat and fire, and yeah. Anyways, apologies for that. So, where was I? Yes. For the stats, we went all into health as we can. You can always play around. For the Mundus Stone, I did go with the Atronach Stone because we want a little bit more magical recovery. And major protection we get from a certain skill that we're going to ignore that for now. And increasing all primary stats, so we're going with three stat buff food, or all stat buff food buff. It's basically from the Crown Store. Everyone has probably 1,000 of them in their inventory, so you're good to go. Otherwise, go whatever the heck you want. I mean, usually I would say it's a role-playing build, but at this point it's a hybrid between a quote-unquote wannabe viable tanking setup with a quote-unquote roleplay build. So yeah, anyways, for the skills, we went with a very classical setup. So we want a taunt, we want the heroic slash for the minor heroism. I went with lingering flare because it is from the support skill line in the Alliance War. It gives us major protection for being slaughtered, and that is 10% less damage taken, and it's a no-brainer for builds like these, man. And it's a build that is not min-max, it's basically RP. So we went with Draw Essence to go with this, steam type of thingy going on around us. And considering one of the sets we are using is Livewire, which heals us in a Lightning Strike, which is going to go combo nicely with a Zappy plus Steam plus a little bit fire around us type of thingy. So this one I definitely recommend, aesthetically wise, at least, aesthetically speaking. Second skill we're using is Igneous Shield. Igneous Shield in our case is our basically damage shield. Anyone that played Dragonknight before knows that this skill is a no-brainer when it comes to Dragoknights. For the ultimate here, I went with the Magma Shell. It's self-explanatory, deals fire, so we're overheating the engine, quote-unquote. And considering we're a Dragonknight, we benefit a lot from this aspect. We get resource back, we get a damage shield on this morph, we deal fire damage around us. I mean, you can always morph it into the other morph dealing poison, so you can go in more with the Engine Guardian boss aesthetics, because one of the mechanics in that dungeon on the last boss, quote-unquote spoiler alert, but I mean, that dungeon is old as hell. So he deals poison, so you could go with that morph as well. However, I just went with Fire Lightning in my case. On the back bar, I went with a Lightning Staff, and I'm going with a ranged taunt called Inner Rage, using Cinderstorm as a heal on the ground, a little bit of lightning with the Blockade of Storms, and Hardened Armory for the little damage shield we get for 6 seconds, and we also get Major Resolve, which is our main source from getting physical and spell resistance by almost 6,000, and it's very nice. While active, the armor returns yada yada flame damage to the enemy, so spiky around us, etc. For the ultimate, we went with Thunderous Rage because just a little bit of lightning. You can always go with Barrier. You can go with probably either of these actually is nice, but I guess I'll go with this one, Reviving thingy. You can always go with Warhorn if you want to go a little bit min-maxing your mate's aggressive Warhorn with Major Force. Sorry. Anything else? I don't know, you can always go Dragonknight Standard, also helps out a little bit, but if you want to min-max, I'll definitely go with aggressive horn. For sure, that is a no-brainer. But for me, I don't care, I want to go a little bit zappy, I want to go a little bit more lightningy. Anyways, now for the gear. We have a couple of options because I try to play around and to find the perfect balance in this setup. So the main two aspects I'm running here is the no-brainer setup, which is called the Engine Guardian. And on the one piece, bonus gives us health recovery. The second piece is the one that we're gonna focus. When you use an ability that costs resources, so any resource, or any ability basically, you have a 25% chance to summon a Dwemer automaton to restore magicka, stamina, or health to you every 0.5 seconds for 6 seconds, which can proc every 10 seconds, which is a lot of resources back. I'm talking a lot. And I decided to go with an overkill and slot it on Tonal Consistent. This one is a mythic item, and you get it by scrying. I believe Greymore was the chapter related to this one. While your stamina is less than 50%, you get magicka recovery, and when your magicka is less than 50%, you get stamina recovery. So resources are really not going to be a problem for us. Now, considering I mixed these two up, I wanted to squeeze in 2 5-piece sets, so one is going to go on the back bar, one is going to go on the front bar, and we're going to have one spare piece, which is going to be trainee. In my case, I just picked it since I'm on PTS. However, there's this one chainmail, which you get from, what's the name of the zone? Sorry. Let me just remind myself, was it here? I think it was Strosmakai. I think it was here, Strosmakai. You can get it by doing the main quest here, and you can get that chain, which in one piece will give you maximum health. You could, if you don't want to do that quest and yada yada, you can always go with Druid, the set Druid. I believe it is a crafted set, and DLC crafted set from High Isle. I believe it was High Isle, and Druid. What? Yeah, the last time I remember, Druid did not dealing damage with a light attack. He heals you, restores stamina, magic, dealing damage with. I don't remember did this actually. I believe it was more of a 12-piece bonus that gave. Yeah, I'm confused actually at this point. I am confused. No, it's basically the same. What the hell? Wait. Is it actually? Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, it was definitely an AI, but yeah, porridge. Anyways, the one piece is going to give us just short of 200 health compared to the trainee one, but because the 200 health could do a little bit of a difference, so yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Anyways, where was I? Ah yeah, trainee. One piece. Of course, obviously, if that's going to be the setup you're going to run, there's another mix which I'm going to recommend. So the front bar I'm running, actually, as you can see from the Tooltip is Livewire. It drops in Clockwork City. It is a overland set. You can get it hella cheap in guild stores. And we're gonna ignore the 2-piece, which is going to be healing taken, maximum health. And when you take damage, you overload your circuits, applying concussion to enemies within 8 meters of you and healing you for 1000 health for each enemy hit. The more enemies, the more you hit. Which is the reason why I said draw essence, which is going to do very much the same. But yeah, very much the same. And yeah, for the second set, you guessed it, Kagrenak. Why? The name. That's it. That's the only reason why I'm running this. It's the name, Kagrenak. Plus, it's a really nice niche set you can run as a tank. I mean, it's actually more recommended on healers, on beginning healers, but I believe it fits the theme. Decreases the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 25%. When you successfully resurrect an ally, you restore magicka, but it's mostly there for, you know, the niche purposes. You can always pop on a couple of shields, heal an ally, and one of the CPs we're running is actually going to help out in that regard. I don't know which one was it. I think it was here. Yeah, Spirit Mastery. Decrease the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 33%. And if you are by any chance a Necromancer, then you have that ultimate that's going to be much better than this one. However, you can always be in a Templar as well, which is going to fit very nicely if you want to go with the quote-unquote Dwemer ascending to be godly or whatever, and it could technically, you know, we can make it work. We can make it work, yeah. Anyway, so the second option I wanted to recommend would be if you don't want to go with you know, Livewire, which can only happen every 6 seconds. You have another option, which is called Storm Knight's Blade. When you take non-physical damage, you deal shock damage to all enemies within 5 meters every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. So it's going to apply 3 times. It's just a small, and it also scales from your weapon and spell damage. So this one's more going to lean towards the DPS quote-unquote type side of the build. And the second one, you can pair that one up, is when you take physical damage. This one's non-physical, this one is physical damage. You deal X amount of shock damage in a 5-meter radius around you, which can happen every 3 seconds. So it is going to proc all the time, literally. If you combine these two, it's just going to do lightning. So yeah. Anyways, let me just do the CP, and then we're going to preview how it looks aesthetically. So for the CP, I went with the Gifted Writer. I went with Steed's Blessing, potions, and food. For the blue tree, we went with damage taken, and guess what? Damage taken, or actually reduced. Actually, I slotted off this one. What did I slot on? Oh yeah, sorry, cutting defense, sorry. This one, I tried to play around, just, yeah, this one's better, Yeah, reduced damage taken. Definitely. I mean, you can play around if you're gonna go with the DPS. Definitely go Rifle Strikes, go Fighting Finesse, Master at Arms, and maybe single target. Or rather, if you want to go with AoE or damage over time, you can do that as well. The green one stays the same. I mean, it's up to personal preference. If you don't care about speed, you can slot it off. But I definitely recommend, for quality of life, having a faster amount, for 30 minutes more duration of your food, not to consume a potion when you can. For the red tree, health, armor, I did go with Spirit Mastery to pair up with the Kagrenak one, and for this one I went with Soothing Shield. When you successfully block an attack, you have a 50% chance to restore health, which pairs up with Livewire. Now, for the Munda Stone, as I said, I went with the Atronach Stone. For the glyphs and the traits, I did, since I'm a Dark Elf, I don't have the cap. I wanted to actually hit the cap of this physical and spell resistance, so I combined 3 pieces of reinforce on this one, I think. Everything else is sturdy. I did go with more stamina on my side, considering I wanted to go to have my stamina slightly more than my magicka. I went with the triglyphs on the head, chest, and pants. However, that doesn't matter because we have a lot of recovery, so you can go health, and you can even go even more health, just decrease here, put more into stamina, so balanced out. So when the necrotic orb or the Templar spear hits you, you can restore stamina as a priority over magicka, because as a tank, while you're blocking, you will not get that resource back. Okay, so for the fashion. On the fashion, we went with Engine Guardian on head and shoulders. And I did go with the dwarf and brass colors on this one, and we have the refabricated medium pieces on the rest. For the weapons, I did go with the Opal Engine Guardian. I would use the original one if I had them, but I sadly do not, and that is depressive. And yeah, I know I would actually, but this one could also fit. I mean, you can also try play around and dye it as opal as you can. I don't know how possible that is. For alternative setups, of course, you have if you want to go with a little bit more Telvanni, you can go with a more Telvanni lookup, with just going with Telvanni. Yeah, the Engine Guardian of Telvanni or whatever, experimenting, yada yada. You can go with Arc. I will not even try to pronounce these actually. You can go with the medium one, it could fit really nicely on most of the pieces. Another great option would be Dwemer. Basically, it looks trash, it's old, it's outdated, but maybe some people find it nostalgic and they will use it because it is nostalgic. And it could work, if you want it to work. Another one would be Wayward. However, this one's more druid based, and I have a whole build on that later, which is going to be, I don't know, tomorrow, today, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, if I missed any, please don't hate me for it, because I'm too lazy to double check. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. If you want to go with opal style, I recommend maybe combining a couple of dice. We have the, where is it, Glacier. This one gives us a technically very close die to the opal one. It's not going to be identical, obviously, but it could, and it could do the trick for most part. However, you maybe find it too glossy, too light, so you can combine with maybe the Voidstone. You could go Voidstone here, you can go with Transluminal on some pieces, maybe. You can go with, where's the one from the Maelstrom Arena? Here we go. You could technically go with the Maelstrom one, or you could go with on the other pieces, which are not the metallic parts, and make it work as well. Technically. I mean, technically it could work. Technically, but not practically that much, but technically, I don't know, I suck at this. Anyway, so now, let me just, you know, try to preview this setup. I'm gonna try to also the other setup with more lightning around me, if you prefer. Obviously, as a disclaimer, as I said, these are niche builds. These are not intended for any serious play. You could use them in normal dungeons, in non-DLC veterans, maybe even hard mode if you're a good player, and they could prove useful in some cases. But I don't know why I'm collecting this on PTS. Jesus, Force of Habit. Sorry. But yeah, you can always make it work if you want it to work. However, this setup is not the best in slot, and best in slot would be to buff up the whole group as much as you can with Yolnakrin, maybe other sets. But yeah, live wire. When the enemy hits me, I deal lightning damage, and then I suck more. Yeah, fire. Yeah, it doesn't deal the most of the damage, but it does the trick. It could do the trick. Now let me just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me do inventory, maxing out. Stormlord, Storm Knight. Okay, let's go with 5 pieces of this, and this, and then we're gonna go with Thunderbug. I'm gonna go with the jewelry on this one. So jewelry, weapons. Let's go with the shield and sword. Oh yeah, and for the mount, I'm using the Dwemer mount, and I'm gonna use this mount, the same mount on the other 2 builds I'm gonna show. For the pet, I'm using this lava fire pet. I don't know where I got it from, but yeah. Now, if we combine these two sets, we're gonna do a lot of lightning. If these enemies actually try to hit me, at least. Like, come on. Boom. And as you see, when we use Engine Guardian, it will summon this mechanical guy. Thunderbug. Go on. Yeah, that sucks. And I guess I could try to go into a dungeon, but like, the video is already 20 minutes long, so I'm not gonna extend it any longer than that. Lightning. 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 But yeah, resources shouldn't be a problem because we can just spam a couple of abilities. And bam. Especially with the tonal consistency thingy. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which is what was it? Oh yeah, the frosty one. The icy one. Yeah, see ya in a bit. Bye bye.